Hi crew, I'm Lex, and today we're going to be looking at the iconic deck from LFO and the Duality Fate Deck. Both of them have some really nice boxes, some wonderful card art inside, and a sampling of the card art in there. There we go. We're going to have a look at the iconic one first because there's less to talk about. First off, beautiful, stunning art. Nice little slipcase, nice little magnetic box. I've sleeved everything in here with card barrier perfect sleeves. So when I got the deck out of the box, it was shrink wrapped and it was really tight, so the cards had actually bowed a little bit. And because of that, I was worried about fitting sleeved cards in there. Your standard cards sleeves won't go in there, which is why I've opted for the card barrier perfect fits. So having a look at the cards nice and close up, nice matte finish on the front there, and nice linen texture on the back. With these, one of the minor complaints on this is super black edges are sometimes a little bit easy to scuff and a little bit easy to mark, so that's why I'm sleeving all these guys. So just be careful when they're getting them in there. It can be nice and tight, and sometimes they might bow or flex. So we have tomes, crows, masks, rams, and our black and red jokers. So all the card art is identical for a suit. They don't just change the way it's been laid out. And with red and black Joker, there's some minor differences, sort of a palette swap. Really cool, lets you know that this is a fail regardless of what you do. And on this one, you're dealing severe and weak damage. So as you go through the decks, you've got weak, moderate, severe, all those different blood splashes, and then a red Joker, that super blood splash. Waited for these guys quite a while. They were delayed for quite a bit, and the card art is stunning. There's some issues with cards, so like we mentioned before, because of that black finish on them, they can be easy to mark the backs of. If you scrape it accidentally or put it into the sleeve wrong, end up causing a little white sort of chip on the back, and once you do that, your card's marked, so that's not ideal. The next sort of complaint is the cards are really, really beautiful, but they're also in a really, really tiny font. The weak damage, the tomes, even the number, just a little bit hard to read. So if you're nice and young, you won't have that issue. If you're a little bit of a greybeard, yeah, that's not ideal. And as we jump from weak to moderate and severe damage, they change the card layout. So on your weaks, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Moderates, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And for your face cards, you've got big numbers down the bottom and the same art. So when I buy decks, what I'd love to see is individual card art on every card. That's like my dream deck. So if your deck's doing that, like a tarot deck they released ages ago, my favorite thing in the world. It's an offsize, so it's hard to get sleeves for though. These are just your standard magic card size cards. And the way they've done that with the weaks, moderates, and severes all having a different look is really clever. It's like a clear definition between them, but essentially it's that same piece of art, that tome on all your tomes cards. Same for the rams, masks, and crows. And so for me, that was like, oh, that's really disappointing. Like in a lot of Malifaux decks, once you hit your face cards, you're 11, 12, 13, you'll get like a picture of master or some really cool unique art. And in this case, that just hasn't happened. That being said, the art on the cards is fantastic. It's phenomenal, the way they're laid out. It's great. Like I said, they're just a little bit hard to read. So going on to rams, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Ram's got to be my favorite art from these sets of cards. It stands out so much. Then we've got our masks with what looks like a Vasilisa. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And finally crows. And it's an awesome looking crow there. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That's the big art in all its glory. Love the deck. I haven't had a chance to play with it yet. Might try it out at the next tournament, which is a doubles tournament with a 2-player team. Really cool looking cards. Only concern is they might be a bit hard to read. It's cool that they all say severe, moderate, and weak on them. Black Joker's just a fail. Your red Joker is your severe plus weak. Really cool. So yeah, if you're wanting beautiful cards, this is definitely the way to go. And that deck box is mint. I would have liked it to be probably another 3 or 4 mil on the top, so you could fit sleeved cards in there. But if you're using perfect sleeves, they drop in there absolutely no problem. Nice magnetic case to carry them around in. That's super useful. And I didn't speak about the back of these cards, but you've got a Fate deck with Fate written on the back. That's classy. And then you've got the art of all the different suits. Next up, we've got the Duality Fate Deck. That's a pretty standard Malifaux deck box. And that's the deck itself. So like the last one, you've got a nice sort of matte finish on the front. Linen texture on the back. Back on track. Those guys are all sleeved up in your standard card sleeves. You've got your tomes, crows, rams, mask, and your red joker and black joker. So the standard red and black jokers, they don't mention weak, moderate, or anything like that, although this red joker does list all the suits, implying that you can choose your suit, which is super handy. Back of the card is really old-fashioned sort of casino sort of gambling cards, which is really cool. You've got, oh, such a sad, sad marionette, and such a happy, sunny marionette. Oh, it's a moon and a sun. That's really cool. So black and red jokers. Unlike the iconic Fate deck, the Duality Fate deck has pretty plain-looking normal cards, and then the face cards have awesome art on them, which we'll get into. With your standard cards, you've got 1 pip in the corner for weak damage, 2 pips for moderate, and 3 pips for severe. The actual cards themselves. Suits, nothing to really look at there. Nice, super clear. I've used these in a tournament so far. Super easy to read. You know exactly what you're pulling. You know exactly what you're getting. A bit bland that way, but then the face cards more than make up for that. Onto the face cards themselves. So we've got an Arcanist Mage guy setting a sword on fire. That's really cool. We've got Stevie Mage turning a fairy into a flaming lantern. This gas mask, that's pretty groovy. And we've got Lightning Mage guy who's totally cooking himself. It's like bad things happen. It's what Malifaux is all about, right? For crows, we've got the crazed scientist turning into a zombie. We've got the poor dead wife being turned into a horrible flesh construct monster. And we've got our Frankenstein being electrocuted to life. For rams, we've got nice gentleman who's then covered in blood. Rams is always being that brutal. Pretty lady shooting you in the face. And a stunning lady with a smoking gun. Lastly, we've got masks. And we've got a temptress, which is turning into a woe. Poor innocent child who's some sort of like fairy or mimic. Those beautiful iridescent wings. And lastly, we've got Joe the Barber, who's just wearing a meat suit. He's some horrible eye centipede thing. It's really cool. These face cards are what really sells the deck. Super happy with it. Like I said, super clear, super easy to read. The fact that these standard cards are just the weak, moderate, severe, but they are so clear to read. It's like, there's not really an issue there. Getting a picture on every card is super expensive as well in terms of like paying artists and production and everything, so it's sort of a given. And nice white cards, so kind of hard to mark the edges of them. So overall thoughts, they're both fantastic looking decks, but they do things quite differently. So Iconic is just beautiful cards, beautiful designs, just a little bit hard to read, and the card art is the same image recycled, just different variations of it, which is all basically on the back of the deck box there. Duality, nice simple cards, nothing too fancy there, but the face cards like super shine. Like if you like them, you like them. If you don't, I mean, that's the thing. It's all about like just opinions, right? And everyone's opinion's valid unless you're a Nazi. There you go. So Duality and Fate decks. So if you're after a deck and you want something a little bit fancier, would recommend both of them. But again, it's just down to individual tastes, what you might like better one over the other. Nice and simple to read, a little bit harder to read, but beautiful. Awesome. Thanks, guys. If the Neverborn starter is in the country by next month, I'll be reviewing that. Otherwise, I might take a look at botanists, or I'm wanting to do a video on what we might be getting for Malifaux starters. Because we still have 4 starters due. I sort of want to do the video before they actually get announced, because I'll get more theory, speculation stuff talked about there. So far we're waiting on 10 Thunders, Arcanists, Guild, and Reses, since we don't have starters for them yet. The other side starter set doesn't follow the same rules as all the other starter sets do, so we'll probably see them released as well. And I've just got some basic opinions and things which I want to talk about there, some things I'd like to see for the factions and starters. But yeah, that's me. You guys and girls and everyone else, have a great month, and we'll see you next month with hopefully Neverborn. But if we don't do Neverborn, we've got other options. Thanks much. Have a great day. Bye. Ciao. See ya.